to see.
Yeah, it's 126 Eureka.
All right, welcome everyone. Appreciate that. Tim, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I know last week that you were showing a house, so that's fantastic. So thank you for that. So it was great. Anything you want to share how that all went down for you and your experience?
Actually, it wasn't a house. We were showing just property. A friend of mine was looking for some land to do like a tiny house thing.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So, but we got out there. It was okay, but you could tell right off the bat it was set up as a illegal grow site. So, kind of scared him off of it.
That was yeah. So you couldn't get around it. You don't want to know what you need to say about how to get around that one.
You're like,
Yeah.
look, guys, it's income producing too.
Yeah, those are a little tough on that. On just those you'll learn that yeah you can't. I had a house that I was hoping that we're gonna write up, and he just didn't like the house across the street. He goes, I just can't look at that house across the street. I can't this, I can't that. And you'll get people who will call up and they'll say, hey, I'm looking at the aerial map now, and what are these little tents, or what are these little, you can tell, you can look at the aerial map when you start. And sometimes they just might be fruit trees, because I had the one that we're closing Monday. They actually were the agent called me, says, now what are those people up there? And my lady said, are you kidding me? They're the sweetest little old couple. Those are all like fruit trees that just were all in the line that looked like they were pot plants, but they were just fruit trees. So it was kind of fun to kind of at least counter that one. So, all right. So anybody have anything that you want to share in regards to direct marketing, direct mail pieces before I share my screen? You ready? I didn't get anybody from anyone, so no one shared anything with me. So I'm just going to share all mine. Is that okay?
Well, I have some stuff going on.
I don't
So,
think we really have any right now. So to be honest,
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to share them. Then you can do.
yeah.
Virginia, what do you got?
Well, so I did a couple of things. I did got a list of, I made up a list and found it, of expired properties from June of 2019 to June of 2020, did research on them and made sure that, they hadn't had any action or anything. And there's about 65 of them. So I've sent them one mailer, and then I've got another one set to go out today or tomorrow. And then the other thing that I'm doing is through kind of that realtor next door thing, I'm doing a bagged food drive where I've got paper bags and I've got the information from the Nevada County Food Bank on one side, information about me and why I'm doing it on the other side, and then a place there where they can sign up for a $50 gift card from Friar Tuck's so I can get some additional information. And that's kind of weather-based, because I'm going to leave the bags on their doorstep. So I need like 7 days of good weather coming up.
Oh, that's good. No, that's a fantastic idea. Just taking that farm that you're next door and all your neighbors, just walk around and do that. So that's a good idea. I like that, to try to collect more information idea too, by having them do that. That's one of my things that we have in our book that we've gotten 2 or 3 people just is that picture scavenger hunt that we have there too. Oops, Sarah's coming in. So that's good.
7 good days of sun coming up.
Thank you.
Oh, that is good. All right. So, but that's a good idea. And maybe you could take you could take and maybe staple on the bag of your information of maybe the realtor next door. Maybe they don't know you're in real estate. So you actually could take, hey, this is what we're looking for, and this is who I am, or something like that, of one of your, maybe even the same mailing piece that you actually had mailed them in the first place, or something too, that so they can kind of recognize your branding as straight across the board. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah.
hey, Eric, I just emailed you one of our buyer letters. That's our most recent one.
All right. Hey, can you put that in the presentation, please? All right. So she's going to put that in the presentation, and we'll put that in number 1, because we want to start and lead off.
This group of boys is asking for Sunday, so I'm looking.
Yeah, it will be Sunday at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock Sunday.
I got something to share.
Please.
All right. So I need to know how you would take this. Do you take this as a sign, or what do you take it as? All right. So Cassandra and I are starting to drop off letters to homeowners, right? And in post kind of cost a lot. So walking around seems to be the best bet. Obviously I'm wearing my gloves. Obviously I'm wearing my mask. So it shows that I'm not touching anything. First person I go to hand a letter to, they were on their porch, right? And I was like, hey, I'm just a realtor looking to, I have some clients looking to buy in this neighborhood. dropping off some letters to homeowners such as yourself. You know, would you like one? He's like, yeah, sure. Takes it. I go back to my car because I forgot something. I turn around, he's ripping it up and throwing it in his garbage, right? So I hand out all my letters, right? And I was positive, you know, no problem. I'm done with my letters. Done with the last one. I have to go to the post office to drop off something to mail off. I walk into the mail office. First person I talk to is some lady filling out a box. And she's like, I was like, hey, what's going on? And we just start talking. It's like, I'm a realtor. She's like, oh, you know, I am getting sick and tired of these letters at my door saying that they have people to buy my house. She's like, I just feel like it's a scam. And I just got done doing that. So it started off with somebody ripping up my paper. The first person I talk to after I go and do this for the first time tells me that they're tired of getting these letters. Do I take that as a sign? Like, you know, I was talking to Cassandra about this because this is something that we're going to try to start doing with listings and creating marketing ideas and, you know, getting it out to people. But I mean, the first time I went, you know, I just want to get your thoughts on it, you know, with the letters at least.
I would keep doing it. I would,
Okay.
you know, there are people that they hung up on me yesterday, and you know, I was talking to them, and they hang up, and I just, okay, and I just finished this, like, and they hang up. I go, well, thanks so much. You guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. And I finish the conversation because I'm not going to get hung up on. I go, do you know who I am? You know, so it's like I just kind of just say, well, it's so nice talking to you today. Have a blessed day and enjoy your family. You know. So I just kind of finish the conversation, so I stay positive because I laugh. I just laugh. I mean, that's classic. I would have pulled my phone out and took a picture or a video of him ripping my letter up.
I mean, you can hear it too. Like, wow, okay.
And, you know, unfortunately right now with the whole political kind of, I don't know, the country,
Turmoil.
they're just a little bit on edge, and they just seem to be a little bit more grumpy. They just lost their you know, what was that thing we saw on President's Day? You said, Shannon, you saw a bumper sticker or some letter says be driving or something. It was really nice. It was just really cute. But it was like basically, maybe you saw a post. It was a post, but it was basically because it's President's Day. I don't know what the word would they use, but it was just really nice just to kind of remind people that, guys, we need to like treat each other with some respect here. So if you get a call and you get a call from a salesperson, you know, just talk to them. You know, they're just doing their job. They're just trying to work and just trying to make a living. So, you know, so that's kind of how I end my conversation. But I would just keep doing it because you're going to find somebody that's going to be there. You know, I got a call on the house we're closing today. The neighbor called me yesterday and said, can you come list my house? And I said, great. So I showed up and he goes, all right, great. Let's put the paperwork together. Let's just get it done. And so it was like, I didn't even have to even send out a just listed or just sold postcard because the neighbor has done such a great job on social media, you know, telling all our neighbors and our whole community about me. And then I go into my next door neighbor and the lady says, hey, you just sold one of my best friend's house. She's in church with me and da, da, da. And I said, well, I can give you the same service, you know? So I mean, it's just weird how it's such a small world. So you just got to look for the good in that. And you're going to find a bunch of grumpy people, but then you're going to find a bunch of happy people. So, and your CRM system might have, I know that mine does, it's a walking, you can do like door knock. I can go on door knock. And so when I walk up to a house, it like kind of tells me who they are and who lives there. And then I can then just punch in some information about them in regards to like what just
now,
transpired. Like
Eric, when we go to our Wednesday meeting, we're getting told we're not allowed to door knock.
Yeah. Which one's in Nevada County?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
against our.
Isn't it technically not door knocking if you're just walking up and putting a letter on? That's what
If
I'm
you're
doing.
just
I'm not knocking. I'm just
Yeah.
putting it on.
If you're just putting it on there, I would just keep doing it. I would do it until, you know, if somebody gets you in trouble or gets mad at you, but I would just, you know, like I could see that people are still doing all the estate sales and having garage sales and people
Yeah.
walking in their house, touching everything. And I'm thinking, are you nuts? You know, that, you know, you don't even know who
Yeah.
these people are. They're just going to let them walk in your house. But,
I
so-
did have a client that I went to see and I wasn't with him very long. And he said, yeah, my neighbor told me Eric Hatch is the best agent in the lake. And I was like, smile, Diana.
Well, you know
You know
who
what
gets trained by him? I do.
So-
He's supposed to say.
You know, I've actually, there's been a lot of, and I think Diana, maybe you did before too, but there's been a lot of people, like if I've dropped Tony's name when I first started, so yeah, I work with Tony. Oh, you work with Tony? Oh, that's great. You know, so then that all of a sudden gives you, when I was younger, that gave me some, you know,
Yeah.
we work together. So I think I shared that with you. Walk in and go, yeah, you know, if they say, oh, well, we're interviewing other agents.
That's what I did. I said,
That's
yeah, I
right.
work with Eric and he trains us. So
And that works great. So yesterday, I think I was on the phone for one of these direct phone calls that they called me back because they missed my number. And I talked to him probably for 10, 15 minutes. And he's actually Tony's client. Oh, no, I'm going to list with Tony. And so, oh, no, that's great. You were great. And I talked to another lady that she had called me back to, and she's listing with Mimi. And I said, okay, you've got that's terrific. You know, she's a great agent. You're in good hands. You know, don't, you know, so I try to, you know, help them
Yeah.
at the same time like they chose. But I mean, the guy was on the phone for 15 minutes. I'm thinking, okay, you're with Tony, but can I go now? But I was just trying to be polite. We're just chatting about all sorts of stuff. But yeah, just keep kind of doing it and just keep moving, because you just never know who you're going to run into, who's going to say, hey, you know, Vince, this is thank you so much. I was just thinking about putting my house on the market, and you couldn't have, you know. And then because the one lady, Vince, that told me the other day, the one in the condominium that I shared last week, that's turning out to be real interesting. But she actually said that I took this as a sign that I got your letter. So remember, I think I shared that with you. She goes, I think I took this as a sign that I got your letter. So maybe it is time for me to move. But it's not helping that the next door neighbor is exposing himself. And so she's wondering, how do I put that as a disclosure on a neighbor nuisance?
What?
So they've got some police reports. I said, let's wait about a week and see what the police does with this before we put the house on the market. So we have to say, my neighbor exposes himself, you know, that would go really well. So,
Oh my gosh.
so the poor lady though, because she feels so sad because she's like, I need to leave and I can't stay here, but how do I sell the home and have somebody come back and sue me? So I said, you know what? We'll definitely tell them that we've got an exposing neighbor, you know, so we'll get some verbiage on that for you. So
Like, you guys
Just have
having
to
an
find
open
someone-
house?
Just have to find someone interested in him.
yeah, so it was kind of funny, but anyway, in a sad sense to her, but it was funny, but I feel bad for the lady too.
Diana, I just want to share with you, every time Vince and I go somewhere, everyone always asks us if we know like the heavy hitter listing agents in that area all the time. And we're always like, oh yeah, we know them. They're awesome. It always happens.
You know, and sometimes, you know, I think I shared that with you before when I got up to my max, like 30 something listings, which was a little bit tough to handle, but it was, you know, there was somebody that he went with a different agent. And so, you know, that kind of backfired on me. So you could use that and say, oh yeah, you know, I know they have
Yeah.
a ton of agent, they have a ton of listings at that. Yeah. Oh yeah, they do a fantastic job. And last time I checked, I was looking in the MLS the other day and they had like 25 listings. I don't even know how they even handle that, because I like to keep my listings about 3 to 5 so I can really work really hard and direct and be able to be in person and help you through that process, you know. So maybe use that against those
Yeah.
who have a lot of listings too. Okay.
Real quick, we're not gonna just skip over the fact that you said you had 36 listings at one point.
That was last year. It was
Just a little hard to manage.
So
it was insane.
let me ask you this, right? In this market, are you guys seeing in your, like, up in, you know, Lake of the Pines and that area, are you seeing houses flip really quick? And are you getting as many, like, are you getting like tons of offers within the same weekend? And if so, like, how are you dealing with that? Because we had 2 listings and it just completely consumed us this week, you know? And so that's something that we're kind of battling right now, is like, how do you funnel everybody?
Yeah, like how do you have 6 listings in a weekend with multiple offers? We got 42 offers on one property this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
But only one person can buy the house. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, we're having that same issue here. Lake of the Pines has six houses on the market, and normally we
Yep.
have 30 to 70, and so it's been tough. And so it's a bunch of pinned up. So what, you know, I would tell if I was representing a buyer, which I got two buyers this week, this actually 2 days yesterday, maybe the day before, that didn't get the houses, and they said, "Well, I wish I would have known that it was a competitive market." Sorry, what was that? I missed something there. I would have given them more money, and I said, what happened to the conversation? And I said, there's 3 offers on the property. We need to come in really, really strong. And you came in with a full price offer, so, and he goes, oh, well, we could have given more. And so again, sometimes it's just a learning experience. And the other one was in Roseville. Is that where it was? Yeah, Roseville. And they were, I think there was 15 offers and we didn't get it. And we were 35 grand over. So, and this is what I need to tell your buyers. I say, look, they're not going to counter you. If you're the highest and best, or maybe you're number 1 or 2, you might get a counter. But if you're not, you're 30 something offers, Cass and Vince, that you get on the house, there's no way you're going to go through every single one of those and counter them all. You're just going to take the highest and best or the top 2 and put one in a backup and say, here you go. Thank you very much. So always tell your buyers that this is a tough market. And I don't want you to wake up tomorrow and go, man, like this guy did and says, we should have offered more money. I want that number right now and just tell me what the number is, because we're putting that number in. So as a seller, they're just, they'll call you a hero. They'll love you. They'll just think that this is the coolest thing ever. But that doesn't mean you have to take the highest offer. We had an offer $100,000 over asking, and we didn't take that offer. We took the offer. It was 50 grand under where all the other offers were. We just felt that they were coming in. There's no way that it would appraise at that price. And so we felt they were just kind of trying to come in, lock us up, and then start nagging us with a bunch of numbers and stuff of that nature. So that could backfire sometimes too. And that wasn't my decision with the 600. That was the sellers and the son. They said, we don't want to take that offer. That team seems too scary or too weird to them. Okay. So
we had to do the same thing. We didn't take the highest priced offer.
no.
We took the second highest price.
There we
offer.
go. And it's, it's also terms, and we did a class on that one that we can do another one here soon about how to kind of win those. And I think I saw that Jody might've done a class like that maybe a couple months ago too. So,
well,
all right.
honestly, being on the listing side, there are I feel like we've written so many strong contracts because now being on the listing side, just seeing that, people are submitting prices 30 to 40 over, but have nothing else to build on that, like no money over appraisal, no proof of funds to show that they can pay for that much money over the appraisal. And so it's really interesting because it's getting so competitive that people are just putting whatever out there that they're approved for, but it doesn't mean that the price makes sense. And so I feel like being on the listing side now, like we could win offers with our buyers, but it's just a matter of whether our buyers are willing to actually go that mile to get the offer accepted, because what you have to do right now is above and beyond.
It is. So I would push for the backup offer position, because I've had 2 of my listings, one for sure, Whispering Pines, that we took the first ones did not go through after about a week and a half, and then we're going into the backup position. And I think I've got 2 offers on backup positions right now. And I put another one, the house yesterday came on the market that the neighbor bought, so they didn't even let us even go see it. We saw the model next door, so we're just putting a full price offer right now, cash, full price 30-day close backup offer that we just submitted this morning. Even though we haven't even seen the house yet, we're just going to put it in there, and if they sign that and accept it, then they come back to us and say, hey, yeah, it looks like that we're going to maybe looking into that second backup offer position. Do you guys still want it? Oh yeah, you know what, we really do. Let's go ahead and go in. Let's just come in and see it, another time, or can we come in and see it tomorrow or something? And then we'll go in, we'll look at it. They'll say, yep, this looks really good. I do want this one. We'll say, yep, let's put us, make that happen. And they'll cancel the other one and put us in position number 1. So try to get in the backup position if you can, get that, if you represent the buyer, because they will fall out because of those crazy things where people all of a sudden get what I call the eBay syndrome, where they just kind of think, wow, did I just overpay for that? And
Yeah.
so, did I
So
just
when you're trying to get into the backup position, do you send something else to them, or do you ask them to send back the backup?
I send it like the addendum. I send in the addendum with the backup
Okay.
full price offer, and I just hopefully they'll sign it. So again, if it's a full price offer, will counter it. They'll
Yeah.
might counter to wherever that number ended up being, at least then But in this case, since this house, the neighbor bought it, I don't suspect that it went over asking price, because they didn't even let any of the other people even come see it or even, put an offer in on the table. So.
Right.
So, and that's tough. And I know, guys, sometimes when it's your listing and you have the buyer on it, I don't ever want people to think that I was trying to be dishonest by saying, okay, Diane, I don't want Diane to get it because it's my buyer. I will say, Diane, I just want you to know that thank you for your offer here, but I do want you to know that I received a call on it too. And one of the buyers that is buying this is also mine. I just want to be full disclosure that that's the case. Just, I never want it to close escrow, and then they see that Eric Hatch is the one that did it, then ever have Diana wonder, oh, that's why Eric like sold the house. He sold it down south, so, that I just don't ever want that to where you feel like you're being dishonest. So I will always tell them that I'm also have an offer on the table. And they
Yeah.
have to say that
We're seeing that at the lake here. A couple people are doing both sides.
Yep, they are. And so there's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time,
I
I
know.
would never put a house on the market right now without it going on the MLS. I have a house that we're supposed to be listing in about a month, and the neighbors have already come and the agent's already brought their agent, and she's already called me and says, can we bring an offer on the table? And I'm just thinking, we might be losing 50 grand on the table. So I'm just going to tell my client, no, I really feel we need to hit the MLS before you start accepting an offer, but that's going to be up to them. All right. And by the way, guys, I think I only have like 2 active listings right now. So that's very manageable. So that's good. So we're
It's like, I'm going to have to cut this meeting short. I got to go on meetings. I got to go. I got to go.
He's got to get on the phone and drum up some business.
but I know that we have about maybe like 9, 10, 12 that are about to hit the fan. So they're coming.
I was gonna say by next week you're gonna have 9 more. So
That's-
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
That is the plan. No, because that's what, and it's interesting how you can just your subconscious mind will just go get it. And I said, wow, I don't have any more listings. So then I just start doing things like this, and you guys helping me, mail out these things and putting mail outs and starting to get a few of these people just sold postcards, getting a few people. And so you just got to go do the work, which is important. All right. So let me share the screen with you, and I'll share all my fancy ideas that will make you wealthy, right? That's the plan.
Love it.
All right, screen share. And I actually have a link, guys, that I will put this link for you. And I'll put the links you guys can actually go get this too. All right, that work?
Mhm.
All right, so these are just, there's 1-to-1 letters. So we have, oh, wait, this is you guys. She put you in here. Look at this. Can you guys read that, Cass? Or do you want
Yeah. This is quite a long letter. That's
Mhm.
why I want your input on it.
All right. So to the residents and neighbors of Candlelight Way, we thought would be a value information. Your neighbors that the house was recently sold at 26 above asking price. So that's nice. You gave them kind of like a wow factor. Our team listed this property and was pleasantly surprised with the amount of offers received. Given this, we were reaching out to the neighbors and the property is being informed. So that's good. Citrus Heights.
Really
The sale of
wordy.
the house directly affects the value of your home. We may want to be able to sell your home without even hitting on the market. I'm sure you'll receive many letters and messages discussing, the increase. See there, Vince, see, you're just letting them know that be prepared. You're going to get a trillion letters.
Yeah.
This is not one of those letters. We have multiple sets of clients who are pre-qualified and have been looking for months and willing to purchase now. We're seeking to grow their family, grow their family in the neighborhood. And so I love that. So live peacefully for years to come. And so then you actually put a list here. We got buyer 1 looking for this, buyer 2 looking for this. So I love, I love that where you actually specifically put that, because one of my pet peeves is when we're taking a house off the market right now. Actually, one of my listings on Bobbling coming off because they're going to paint it. But I told them, I said, look, you guys are going to get bombarded by calls from agents, and they're going to tell you that they have a buyer that they want to, buy your house. It's like, well, why didn't you bring that buyer, last week when it was on the market? So I always like to tell my people when we're about to take a house off the market, be prepared that you're going to get those phone calls. So,
feedback on that one listing is the neighbor.
neighbor on the right.
It's just a lot to when you first come up. Yeah.
Okay. I sold that house. I should probably tell them to clean it. Yeah, they like to come over and talk. She's super, super sweet.
She was my neighbor across the street.
Oh yeah, she was your neighbor across the street. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you can see what that one
But I
was.
just wanted to tell you that was my feedback from the family, and
So-
they had kids.
So let me just put a pro tip on that one, okay? She actually had her own agent. That agent that sold the house across your street, she moved, I think, out of state. And
No,
I
out of
went-
city. Yeah,
Out
out
of-
of city.
out of city. So I went and I actually chatted with them during the home inspection, and we just, we kind of like, and I wasn't trying to, other than just being nice, that's all I was. But here we are a year later, she calls me up and says, hey, we bought a house in Auburn and now we want to sell that house. So I sell them that house and sell this house next door, but not, and I was just because I met the lady once and was just really nice. And so she wasn't really happy with her agent. And so then she saw what good job. So Cass and Tim and everybody, when you guys are in a listing, even though you don't represent the other party, just keep that in mind, that they're watching you too, and they're kind of seeing what type of agent you are. And if you actually perform really well and their agent either leaves or retires or moves, then that they will be seeking and searching after another agent. So anyway, that was what happened on that one. But I like this. If you haven't been thinking of selling or know anyone in your neighborhood looking to sell, I like, because you ask other people as well. Otherwise, give us a call. We may be able to sell your home without having it in the market. Thank you for your time and a great video today. I thought it was great. I don't have anybody else have any thoughts or concerns. I think that was well written.
So we try and put this, and then on the back of it, I try and put a CMA of their neighborhood to show what houses they're selling for. And then we try and put this on nice letterhead. So it'll say the C21 in the top left corner. You can buy it from Century 21. And then it has our address. And at the bottom, it has a little watermark at the bottom too. So the paper looks nice. It's coming on nice paper, you know, trying to make it look like something that's not just like any other piece of paper that you receive in the mail, right? So.
Yeah, I would say that, just a thought here when you said that of when sometimes on the letterhead and things, when you put like, you know, if I get something from, I don't know, whatever it is, I might toss it if I know exactly what it is right away. So sometimes I don't put Century 21 on my envelope. Sometimes I just do a yellow envelope that might get opened. And maybe what you can do after you sell this one right up here on top, you can just have them, whatever feedback that they give you on a review, you can actually, hey, we just sold this house and this is what they said about me. And then, dear neighbors, you need to use Vince and Cass because they they So you can actually put the third party endorsement right there of their review of you. And then that way, because they might know you, just like the lady or the guy I went to yesterday, I'm listing the neighbor's house. I didn't have to do anything. She already promoted me by far and says, you need to list with Eric, and, you know, don't list with anybody else. So, I mean, that's the type of stuff that you just want to have. So putting that little verbiage in there of maybe what she tells you, or he, or whoever that client is. So then if they know that person, then boom. Oh yeah, that's what Sherry said about Vince. Oh, he's awesome. So they might not even read the rest of your letter after they see that. Well, that's
Will
good.
we get a copy of the letter?
That's
Is
up
that
to
too much?
You can have it.
All
I'll
right.
send it.
All
Okay.
right, so what I can do is I'll redo the link, and it should actually, well, the link it should be in there now that you've just put it in there.
I just took a picture of it.
Yep. All right, so we just put there, hey, my name's Eric Hatch, C21. I prepared, I pre-approved clients who would love to move to your, Countryville Estates. And this is like a little place in Auburn that has maybe 20 little condos, little estate condos. And so this one, we'd run this every once in a while. And I actually literally have somebody who wants that. So when you're considering selling your home, if you're no worries at all thinking of selling your neighbors, please feel free to call me. I mean, it's real simple.
Yeah, I like it because it's simple.
And so, some people will toss it. Some people throw it. You got to be careful though, because I have sold a house, actually sold the same unit in here twice. And I see the envelope sitting over there on there, but I want to make sure I don't send this to my personal client that I sold the house. This is not formal. This is not personable enough. So if you're farming an area,
Right.
and you just want to make sure that you don't send out a letter to your mother that gets this and says, my name's Eric Hatch. Why don't you say, hey, mom, so just make sure it's personal. So I want to make sure that that letter gets sent out in a more personal touch. Hey, like, how are you doing? Can't believe it's already been 2 years. If you're thinking about selling your home, I have somebody else who, would like to move in that neighborhood. Or if you have, and she might be my very best potential connection there, because she might know of her neighbor who might be thinking of selling because she lives there. So dear Doug, this is a one-to-one letter right here. And sometimes, I use this often when I call. If I'm driving the neighborhood and I go through to Colfax and I'm going, oh, you know what? Oh, that's Doug. Doug lives at this house. That's right. I wonder how Doug's doing. So I might say, hey, Doug, drove by your house on Poplar.
Yeah, I like that.
To check out to see how you guys were doing. It's been quite a while since your home purchase, and I was just around the time. Now this one right here, this Doug guy, which they've actually sold this house now. This is an older letter, but this one, I actually, he bought my flip. This is my very first flip in September. I bought that house. September 11th happened with the tragedy. And then we closed like a week later. And talk about what the real estate market was doing back then. I wasn't positive if we were even going to be selling houses after everybody just stopped the whole country to mourn on that. But this right here was a letter that he bought my flip with another agent. And so over time, I just kept put him on my mailing list. And then he ended up actually selling with that same agent that actually, that did actually end up selling it to him. But I, take a shot, it's not, what if that agent wasn't responding or saying anything or sending anything to him? So I just said, hey guys,
Yeah.
you're interested in selling in 2021 or 20, please let me know and be happy to assist and help. And I think we shared this before, but Tim, you may not have been on this before, is that if you go back, Jana, you were looking at some letters and some expired people of maybe some expired several years ago. But one key that I like, there's a house in Lake of the Pines that is on Lakeshore South, that if you ever get one of your listings that sells, or even not your listing, if it's an agent that comes up from Sacramento that sells their house and sells that particular house, most likely in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, I doubt they're going to call their Sacramento agent and say, come list my house. I just don't think it's going to happen, because they want somebody who's going to know the neighborhood, especially the niche, Folsom or Nevada City or Lake of the Pines. So if you do, and I do that, if I get, and this was one of them, I had another one on Lakeshore South, that if I get one of my houses sell, especially if it sells and that person knows me, I'm putting them automatically on my driplet system. So they're getting something from me just in case when they go to sell it again, that they don't choose to use their real estate agent, then boom, you're in. I know this is a little kind of crazy too, but we had a couple agents in Coldwell Banker before Coldwell Banker bought down the street here, Diana, that, what was it, Real Estate Center, I think is what it was called. I knew a couple of the agents had moved and left to Oregon. And so I totally took went and looked on the MLS and took everything that they sold, spent a long time finding everything. So just want to let you know that if you're ever looking for another real estate agent, it wasn't really rude by saying, hey, Cass moved to Oregon. Did you know your real estate agent moved? I just said, hey, just in case, if you ever need a real estate agent, or I'd love to be the next agent of choice, so just kind of, again, you can kind of watch that. But if you know somebody's left the area, then hey, I'm sure they probably gave all of that to somebody in their office, but hey, I'm going after it. All right, so you guys know, I think you, Cass and Vince, I think you guys have used that. Tim, there's a Select Agent Next Door program, which you guys, there's, what is it, 6 or 7 pieces, mail out pieces that you guys can actually print and do and pass out to your clients. Some of them are door hangers, I think, which I don't know if they're switching that now that, if Diana, if you said we're not allowed to do that, but the Just Listed, Just Sold postcards. Anybody want to explain how that kind of works? To Tim, are you aware of the Just Listed, Just Sold postcards, about how the company pays for some of them for you?
Yeah, I actually did start the Realtor Next Door program as soon as I got onboarded.
Well, this is different though.
It's a little different. What do you got, Diana?
Well, the Realtor Next Door is the Realtor Next Door program. So you get it once a month to the same people, but the Just Listed and Just Sold, you can circle the people that are in that home. So maybe the buyers move in and then you do a Just Sold, and then your flyer kind of gets stuck in their house or something, or
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. I believe the company does. Do they pay 50%? So you actually buy
Right.
50 cards, and they give you 50 cards. So it's a total of 100 cards going out to,
Yeah.
and somewhere on your folders, you guys will notice that it will say, do you want the cards? I think weren't they starting to make that kind of mandatory? Maybe.
No. And I do $40 is all I do. I just say, just do $40 worth. So, pretty much if you do 100 cards, it's close to that, or 90 cards. And sometimes they'll plug in that address, but you also have to remember that they give you 4 times for each house. So say you could spend $40 for each house, 40, 100 list. So sometimes I'll do 40 around that house, but I'll do 40 around the ones that I already farm for my next door. So I do both. So I double up. So then I'm spending 80, but then all the people that are seeing my next door papers, they'll say to me, oh, I saw you sold a house. So it's kind of doubling up, but it's also giving them more information, because you get to do 4 times per house you sell.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Did you guys hear that? So
Wait, I'm confused about that. What do you mean 4 times per house? What does that mean?
You get a 50% off discount for each house you sell or list. So every time you list a house, you can do it 4 times. So you can do 100 addresses for 50% off.
Oh,
Did I explain that better?
yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I completely forgot that the company will allow you to do multiple times.
Right. So say, like, especially if the house is far away from you where you live anyways, or where you farm. So maybe you want to say, yeah, we want them to know that we sold the house. So you send the postcards there, but maybe just do maybe $30 worth or something there. Say do 60 houses around that house sold. And then around your own neighborhood, which you work most of the time, then I kind of let them know what my business is too. So I don't know, I kind of play with it a little bit. I know I can do it 4 times. I keep track. So
And is Pam doing that? Diana, your admin doing that for you?
no, no.
Were they doing it? Anybody's admin's doing it for you if you do, just so Vince, your admin's doing it?
We had to ask because we assumed that it was going out for months and months, and none of them were going out at all, and it was very frustrating. So now we have it to where our TC knows every time we have a transaction to contact us, send us a proof, let us know, hey, how many do you want going out, and stuff like that. So they actually sent it to us to proofread, and then she said, hey, which ones do you want? Like we just had a house that we were gonna put out just listed, right? But it sold within the first weekend. So we're just gonna do just sold versus just listed and just sold, right?
Do it together, do it just listed and just
Yeah.
sold. And be careful. I
Diana,
think-
Pam did mine for me, but I did not know that you could do it 4 separate times. So I'm going to talk to her today when I go in
Well,
and
she
see.
probably doesn't know that.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Probably
shocking.
So, I mean, unless you want to give up a half hour explaining that, you just
Yeah.
know.
We'll do it again.
Diana.
So,
It's
but yeah,
okay.
I
I
do
know.
recall that admins are supposed to do that for you. And yes,
Yeah.
it's something where if I don't stay, we have a different system, and I'm gonna share a few what we do, but if I don't send it out, if I don't remind them, yeah, sometimes it does get dropped because you get so busy and you forget to do it. But it's the best thing out there to get a little bit of free advertisement for, 50% of the company's dollar to be able to do that. And that's how Dan feels so strong about that, is why he does that. So
Well, what happened with mine, Eric, was that I somehow, I'm doing the next door stuff. So the assistant to Jim is doing it. She said somehow I ended up with 2 accounts.
that's good. So then you get to do it 8 times.
No, I don't want to spend that much, but she went to do my next door and she goes, I don't know where your addresses went. And then I looked and I'm like, I can see them. And she's like, So then they called and they fixed it, but that happened just last month. So you got to be careful because sometimes it'll create 2. I think personally, it's pretty easy to do. So if we do our own, I mean, the words are already on it. They write it for us. So I don't know.
Definitely want to proof that, because I know some things, the address was wrong, stuff was wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Always proof the stuff that they have, but and I try to brand mine too. I like to, the Century 21 colors. So you've got your just
Me
listed
too.
postcards, just sold postcards. So kind of find one that you kind of like, and I would kind of stick with the same kind of format that you kind of want to use there, just so it just is always the same and it's always consistent, and you're not changing colors and stuff every time something comes. But that's what I would do. But you guys can certainly choose what
Yeah.
you do there. So for those that are interested in this, this is the card I mentioned to you last week that we just printed. I literally have like 10 boxes back there of just these cards. I haven't printed for Todd Valley. I haven't printed for
Oh,
Alta
cool.
Sierra. I haven't printed for Lake Wildwood. I haven't printed for Lake of the Pines. And so I just took, these are pictures of some homes that I sold, that in the neighborhood. And I just, put then I actually have a domain name, Todd Valley Homes, value.com, Lake of the Pines homevalues.com. And so I just kind of just have that. So then they'll know that Todd Valley, and this is what I was sharing last week, that I want them and this is the postcards that I send to the out of the area people is what I do. So that way they'll know that, hey, this is my house in Todd Valley. This is not my house that I live in, in San Jose. So you want to get it free. So this all is these are landing pages. And you guys have a landing page. If you actually go to, so Tim, if you go to your C21 Cornerstone email or website, and you go on your site and you say, what is my home worth? What's my home worth? Then you actually can take that and copy that URL, and then you can actually do something smaller, attach it to something like this. You can attach it to a bit.ly link. So that is your landing page that we have one free there for you. So then when it happens, if somebody fills that information and they go to that and they put in, hey, I'm interested in selling my home, blah, 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 it actually will then go to your email is what it does. And so that is a landing page. So these are just something I just played with this up thing. I've had this for years. This, interest rates are low and prices are on the rise, and it's never, they're always on the rise. So that's the card that I've used for a long, long time. So, and they're already pre-printed. So all I do is I used to have a little letter here, or a little postal paid thing. I don't have that anymore. So I just stick a stamp on here, and I put the label right across on this one right here, and I just go, and then they're done. So and I got these at 56, maybe 56postcards.com, something 56 print postcards. They're pretty inexpensive. And so because it always gets to the point where, do you want to like do this yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Does it better just to like have somebody else do them for you and you could just have them all done? But these postcards it actually was less expensive for me to have somebody put these on because they were pretty inexpensive. And since I bought like 5,000 each card or something, and I've been using them for several years. All right, stop me if you guys have any
Good one.
questions.
That's a good one.
So here's just like an oversized jumbo postcard that I send. And again, you guys find a preferred lender, somebody that you like, that they'll say, hey, do you mind sharing some cost of my stuff with me? And so brand them a little bit too. I'm certain Dan probably wouldn't be happy when I'm branding somebody else, but I like her. I had her way before I had Dan. So that is so pick Stanford if you guys like somebody on Stanford, because I think Vincent Cass, you guys have some people you guys like too.
I like that. I like that part of it.
So, and so this is just a card that just, hey, these are active listings, and maybe down below on right that it might have like, oh, I put my sold listings on the other side. So my sold ones are here. If I'm doing a farm marketing like this one here, this card goes out to Lake of the Pines. So I try to put my Lake of the Pines one. So I'm not going to put my Placerville. If I sold a house in Placerville, I'm going to put the LOP one, something a little bit closer to home. So then they can see that is what we do there too. This is I completely forgot about this one that I did maybe a year and a half ago. This is if you want to get a niche marketing. I didn't sell these properties, but these were just generic ones that I found online. They're not local here, but they kind of look a little bit like they could be. So of what might look like in our demographic area of like duplexes and fourplexes. So I just found them on Google, some pictures, and I says, hey, prices have gone up in Placer County. What's your value of your investment property? So, again, Placer County value, what's your investment property? So they knew that I wasn't talking about their personal one. And this card is called CoreFact, and they actually this little map will actually show where when they get it, that little map will pop up their actual residence or their actual home that I'm sending it to. So that's kind of, in this, CoreFact, they're more expensive, but they're kind of fun and has a little code they can put in and get more information about it, and then automatically comes back to me too. Here was something, if you want to go with the like Old Republic, that she actually gave me, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 of these cards that somehow they got a picture that probably just went to the MLS and put our new home, and they put the person's information. So we closed escrow, and the lady gave me these and says, here, we just wanted to show this to you and pass these on to your client. So I went, oh, that was very sweet of them. So it was on their dollar, their cost. So, but again, you might want to make up something like that. So then they can actually send these to their friends and their family saying, guys, just want to let you know, we have a new address. And, of course they branded Old Republic, but you could change it up and put you, but again, this was a freebie because they did it. So, you can meet with them. Please put that together for me. These were some that I did on some door hangers that we just did, thinking of buying or selling. I've had these for years. I think I couldn't find my other one. I must've got rid of them or used all of them, but that's the one that I had, the little dumpster out front. Looks like you're in a remodel project. Do you have any questions for me? Thinking of selling that I've got a couple, I believe, in my glove box, but so I was kind of just, thinking of buying or selling, make dreams come true. Probably a little bit more information that you want to put here. But that's just something that we put together a long time ago. This is one that I think I got this on Express Docs. I have buyers pre-qualified, so I don't know. I just found that this morning, forgot I even had that card. Now this little guy right here, you can see this, I went and got a bunch of, I think we did them on, what's the place, Shannon, that you get business cards and stuff printed sometimes in your Vistaprint. So I went and got these at Vistaprint. I don't know, it's in this pile somewhere, but it disappeared. But this is basically that little homes value going up and inventory all-time low. Now that actually that's totally true again. So I printed like 500 of those on Vistaprint, and I would take my little magnets and I would just these are the peel and stick that you just peel and stick these little guys right here, and you can just put them on anything that's metal. And I just would I'm one of the ones that litter around the neighborhood and stuff. I used to put these, at Mod Pizza, I don't know if you noticed that, who Mod Pizza, I still have, these are actually in Mod Pizza and they've been there for like a couple, maybe about 5 months and no one's touched them. So I'll just put them up. So what I have is like, you get the pinup boards all over the place, all over town and next to the grocery store or whatever it is. So I just would take these little cards, sometimes they're magnetic and I just have them in my glove box and they're all sitting there. And so if I'm like, happen to be cruising throughout the Sierra, or I might cruise through somewhere else, I might just pop a couple of those up, pop a couple of them up. I might be able to hand a bunch of them out and say, guys, here's something, this is what's going on. Just kind of like the more they get out, maybe somebody will see one of those. So that is just a little business card that I just had printed with that same information, with the same, homes.value.com thing. I just found this one because I've done one of these, but I couldn't find one before. Talk to a lender because these actually have some rules and regulations of what you can't do and can do, because you probably see it says, because they have to have all that when you start dropping monies and prices down here. But I found this one online that I kind of liked, that was just, tired of paying rent. So I used to go to we don't have a lot of apartments around here. The rents are getting so expensive. So Cass and Vince, if you have a lot more apartments and people that you want to go do door hangers, go stick them on an apartment complex in and around your neighborhood of a little door hanger and get a lender to actually go in with you to split the cost 50-50 and then come up with a price, because they'll actually give you a price of what that would be. But then somewhere probably in the small print down here on this side, it probably has all the APR and all that kind of stuff right around here with kind of thing. So I know there's supposedly there's a $15,000 first time home buyer program that's coming out that Biden's putting together. So a tax credit of some sort that we used to have that. Remember those who used to do this a long time ago, we had an $8,000 one. So, and that was nice. And so I publicized that. I would take that and I went to a lot of apartments, the ones in Auburn, and hung things or mailed it out to everyone and said, hey guys, here's the, don't miss it. Here's a $15,000 tax credit that you're able to get, do it now. Who knows when this is going to expire, your rent payments, and kind of give a general. I would probably do more. This is probably older, but I'd probably do like a $1,500 because that's probably what most rents might be, $1,300-1,500 maybe in an apartment, and say, this is a picture of a home that you can actually purchase. Maybe it's a $300,000 home, put a picture that kind of might reflect and match what that payment might be. So you might have a house that you just sold that their house payment is XYZ with 0 down, and and then you can kind of like relate that and try to find somebody that would be interested in that too. All right, so those are my ones that I had there, and I have a link that I will send this to you guys so you guys can have that. Let me go over here into the chat. Did I have it?
Hey guys, I have to go. I have to take a phone call. I'm sorry.
Hey, no worries. There's the link, guys, if you guys want that.
See you guys later.
All right, Vince. Hey, go sell something, Vince.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, just use direct marketing. I really think that, pieces are coming back, and I know that Cass, you shared with me last year that you were walking, or you had so many homes that you were going to go do, and somebody slammed the door in your face and you felt like you needed to go home now because that was just really rude. But no, remember you told me you stuck with it and finished your 10, 15 more homes, and you knocked them out and you finished it and you were done and you felt accomplished that you got that done. So that's great. So I know there's a competitor that used to work in our office that she did when she first started, when she went on her own after she was my assistant. She totally did. That's all she did was knock doors. She knocked doors and all the little developments, and that's how she kind of got started, and she got a lot of listings that way. So you just never know where it's going to come. But
yeah,
again,
honestly, with COVID, it's a little weird to put yourself out there like that, and we're just not really allowed to right now. But I think that if we just keep showing up and being, pillars for information. I was going to put a poll on my Instagram today that said, would you be interested in learning about what's happening in the market right now? I was going to do a poll. And then if anybody says yes, I'll send them a video, like record myself on a video telling them what's happening. And so, I was just thinking because we want more listings, and I just keep putting out there, we want more listings, So I know we're going to get them. And I think that's what we all need to do. But it's challenging right now because like Eric just said, when I first started, Vince and I door knocked twice. I went once for my open house and I got a few leads. And guess what? Of the 4 leads I got at that open house, every single one of them listed this year, just not with me. So,
but you're onto something though.
Yeah.
So we're onto something. Exactly. And so Vince and I door knocked one time, and we got one really good lead, and I keep in contact with her once a month now.
Mhm.
So when she
I
sells,
have a lead that, yeah, they're listing with somebody else, but I was like, well, maybe they'll list with me if I keep on it. So,
yeah, that's all I can
whatever.
do. And when I met all 4 of those leads, they totally knew I was brand new. They could tell, but I stayed up on them. I dropped CMAs off at their house. I dropped dog treats off, bottles of wine. Like I do the whole thing, but they just didn't choose me. And I found out one of them chose a listing agent that took 1%.
And there's sometimes you just can't do that. I would feel that the only time I feel comfortable about losing a listing is if they basically chose the agent that they bought it from. And I would say,
Yeah, that's this person. It's the agent they bought it from.
yeah, they'll call me and they'll say, we really like you. And if we didn't have our other agent we bought it from, we would absolutely go with you. I said, you know what? No worries at all. I would hope that my clients would give me the same courtesy that you are giving your agent.
Totally.
Hey, Eric,
Just write that down.
before we leave, you know how Cassandra goes on and she does like the market update? Mike Southwest taught us this, how to go in, and I know you just go to the MLS. Do you know how to do it quickly that you can tell me?
No, but there's a few different ways that I think, let's see, I recorded a video of Jim doing that in 2 months, maybe a month ago. He did a meeting and he went in and actually did that. So Sarah, I don't know if you were on that one, but I took my phone and just recorded the screen when he was doing it. So I will send that to you, but it went into the trends, the market trends in the MLS.
Right.
And he went down the trends and he came in and there was a couple buttons that he picked and chose that I was going to go back and watch my video. So maybe next week,
Okay.
and maybe we'll do that next week and kind of
Yeah, let's watch it together.
deeper, and I'll maybe go watch it and then I'll show it live with you guys so we can kind of go deeper, because sometimes on those
Okay.
meetings when you have, I don't know, like 50 people on that meeting, you don't want to go, hey, I have a question, and then you're like,
Yeah.
a meeting. So we can certainly feel to be able to do that here. So that would be fine.
Okay, cool.
And Diana, a lot of the facts that I take on those videos are from like our company marketing pieces that they make. They make them and
Oh,
there'll be like 5 bullet points on one of those visuals, and then I'll just take the same bullet points and talk about them in a video. It's the same. None of my information is original.
No, don't do that.
it's okay.
I have a San Diego lender that sends me stuff, which I don't know how I got in his thing, but I actually took and wrote down a bunch of stuff about the market, because what happened in January is the mortgage applications went down, but it's still 14% more than we had a year ago. So these are statistics that he did the boilerplate, like Cass just said, that I was just going to kind of set it right here next to my computer and go, hey guys, guess what? This and I just kind of like, and then I'll just share that same information because it's a credible source. But then they'll look like, wow, Eric, he's like, wow, he knows what he's talking about. But it wasn't me who did it, but at least you need to like share that information, because I'll tell you that half the stuff that's on TikTok is basically just read new stuff. And boy, I have we don't have time to do it, but I found some really cool tech tips that we're going to discuss maybe on your phone, but some fun stuff. But yeah, so it's not all original. I think I've shared this with you before. It's like it's the research and the development is R&D. Is that what it is? Research. It's basically rip off and duplicate is really when the real estate market is that you just take it and you just kind of like tweak it, change it. So that's why I like to belong to some of these groups on Facebook groups that might be like in Tennessee or somewhere in different. The San Diego guy, go like something and be on his Facebook friends of some agent that you think's really cool, and then just kind of like tweak a little bit and change a couple of things. Use some of the videos that they might create and go, okay, I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to do my own video and do my own little twist on it. And so then you just kind of utilize something of that. And so that's kind of basically what you can do.
Follow on Instagram, follow Gabe Menendez, Menendez, Kurt Francis. In San Diego, they work in the same office in Century 21. And so Kurt is our mentor on Wednesdays, and he had Gabe come onto the video and we started following him. He's number 60 in the whole country for realtors on Instagram. He was just voted, but he's on there every day. And Vince and I copy his stuff all the time. Just copy it. We'll send the video to our video guy and go, we want to video this video. And he'll go, okay, cool. Well, we could do that. And so we just copy him because he already knows what to do. Why not just do what he does?
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing I told Eric this week is, and I didn't realize, my husband's doing architectural drawing, and the agents that he's using, that are using them, is in your area, Cassandra. So, you know, the agents are throwing their card out there and saying, I have an architect, and they're adding that out to their clients. So that's another benefit that, you know, if you say Cassandra Century 21 and then they call and say Century 21, Paula asked me who it was, and then you guys kind of move up, you know, so because they're about 5 to 6 weeks out right now.
And I know that we have a vendors list. I know Century 21 Cornerstone has a vendors list, Select has a vendors list, but I kind of have my own vendors list at the same time, that when people actually ask me, I mean, I'll get calls. It's probably one of the best things that I'll get after you sell a house. I think I sold the house 2 weeks ago, and I think we probably communicated 4 times on him asking for reviews or referrals of people that he needs this. Oh, I need this now. Oh, I need this now.
Yeah.
And so I want to be that resource that he keeps coming back and asking me and asking me and asking me, versus, you know, him going somewhere else. So please nail that down and have your own resources. Have all your people in your phone. That way, if they text you or they call
Yeah.
you, hey, let me get you that number right now. And so your speed. So you don't have to, you don't
Yeah.
forget about it. So
I get a lot of thank yous for that. Like, oh, where did you get this at? Or where did they do this? And I'm like, oh, I know this information. And I send it to them. And so I get a lot of information. Sometimes I feel like, geez, I'm just working for free. But this knowledge is I think valuable, even if they don't hire them. It's just knowing that you could recommend, oh, well, this house is perfect for you, but it needs one more room, you know? So, and they're really more familiar with Placer County than they are with Nevada County. They usually work in Placer. So.
All right. Anybody have any last thoughts? Tim, anything? Sarah, what do you got, Sarah?
Go
Anything?
get them.
Yeah. No. So Sarah, I heard that the testing was open again. My wife told me that. Did you
It's
see that?
open again, and they have apparently processed my application, but I still haven't gotten my date. And I'm just like wondering, should I go and sit on the phone with them for another 2.5 hours on hold, finding out what's up?
Yeah.
Probably, but I haven't found that 2.5 hour chunk yet.
Yeah. And then Cassandra, what was the app that you used to study yours?
Prep Agent.
Okay. So
Great.
Prep Agent. I don't know if
Can't you go online and don't they have like an update of your application or no?
No,
Okay.
I haven't gotten my e-licensing number yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, though, for me, when I got my test, it took them weeks and weeks and weeks to give me mine. And then right when they said they reviewed it, I got my number. So it was like, they don't tell you until they're ready to give you your test date, which is at the very last minute.
And
Yeah.
what's the time period between when you get your e-licensing number and when your test is?
Mine was like 12 days.
Okay.
It was
Okay, great.
really quick after that. Like they said, okay, we processed it. Okay, your test, and then you can choose. I could have chosen to go the next day, but I was like, whoa, that's really soon. I
Yeah.
waited this long, and now
come
Yeah,
tomorrow?
I did the same.
Oops, we lost it.
I did Prep Agent as well. And you can go on there and just get like, it's 25 or 30 bucks, and it's only valid for like a week, and you get all of their test questions.
Oh, great. Okay.
And it worked great. I was the first one done. And in fact, I sat there for a minute going, okay, should I really leave right now?
You're one of those people, right? That make me nervous. I'm thinking, are they seriously done? I'm only 50%.
I know. But I was like, I am not going to second guess myself. I am not going to go back over these questions.
That's smart. Eric, I have a question for something that maybe you can cover in the future. And I don't know, I mean, this class does seem to be more geared on kind of the marketing aspect of things, but so this past week in Select Success, and also or last week, I guess, and then also in Jody's class, and then Mike